Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first live discussion on Global Peace Summit Turkey. I'm very pleased to welcome everyone. My name is Anastasia Tiurmenko, and I will be moderating this session today. I was also one of the participants at the very first Global Peace Summit based in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I will be very happy to answer all of your questions and to share my experience and to share experience of our panelists today. So welcome, please, Hristina Crenn, Murad Aslan, Ahmad, who is actually the co-founder of Global Peace Chain and also the program director of Global Peace Chain. So welcome, everyone. And I think that we can start and just briefly give the intro, the basic information to our audience. So I think that it is better to start these a few words about your own experience with Global Peace Chain, maybe the summit you participated at and the country and the people you will be joining and maybe in Istanbul. So if you could give a few words about your own experience and share what people will be, what people are expecting from this summit. Who would like to start? Maybe girls?
So if Hristina wants, he can start, or I will start again. But ladies first, let's say.
Okay, thank you very much. So hello, everyone. My name is Hristina Crenn from Macedonia. Originally, I am living in Istanbul for almost 4 years. I am studying history and political science, international relations in Istanbul, and a bachelor degree of law in France. I am studying in 2 different countries in order to explore the horizons of multiculturalism, something that I am very much passionate about. I haven't participated at any Global Peace Chain Summit yet because I have joined the organization like 2 months ago. My participation at the Global Peace Summit in Turkey will be my first one, actually. So basically, this is briefly about me.
So maybe you could give a few words about your expectations. What do you expect from the summit? How do you see it? Maybe what activities you will be doing and how you will benefit from that? Just a few words.
I think I often mention that we should emphasize, the evolution of human rights. We have nowadays, countries that are signatories of peace treaties that were sometimes the founders of these peace treaties, or the countries of the European Union who claim that, they are universal declarations of human rights. But some of these countries are the first one to violate the human rights, like the country founders. So I think it is important to mention the scope of the evolution of human rights, how this general idea of universalism went to be in a crisis, something unmanageable. It cannot be managed. But why? Is it due to the political aspect of human rights or the legal one? So how that is connected? This is perhaps something that I would like to discuss.
Thank you. Maybe Muhammad would like to continue because he will give more information about summits because he's a co-founder of FUND and he participated at each summit from the very beginning.
Thanks, Nastia, for the invitation, and I'm very happy to see my other country directors and, of course, delegates of the previous summit. So before going ahead, I would like to give appreciation words to my team members who were working behind the screen. Mr. Siddharth, Ms. Aksa, and Hamza, they were contributing day and night to make this success, of course. And tomorrow we are approaching to the deadline, and you know that we got so much responsibility of this terrible pandemic in the world. But I hope so that our collective efforts and our teamwork, which I really appreciate my teamwork, we have a really amazing and tremendous team members who are really doing a wonderful work for this summit, which is very sensitive because of COVID. Thank you so much, Anastasia, for inviting me today. And it's a final webinar of Global Peace Summit Turkey. The purpose of like continuing this momentum of webinar is to extend the understanding of Global Peace Summit to the youth from all across the globe, and to make sure that our voice must reach to the corner of every world where the young people are doing good work, and they must be participating at the summit to extend their social projects and make collaboration and partnership there. So I hope so that this platform is going to be everlasting platform full of opportunities where one can interact with the young leaders, young like-minded from across the globe, and double or triple, or you can say multiply the, of course, impact of the social projects which they're carrying on. So coming to a couple of things which are very important to like understand here. Of course, there are many audiences, they are new here. So Global Peace Chain is a platform of young, influential, viable, invigorating youth across the globe. We are dedicated and very committed to cultivate the culture of tolerance, inclusivity, love, oneness, togetherness, interfaith harmony, and we are proudly denouncing, exterminating violent extremism, hatred, of course, the violent thought, hate speeches, and Islamophobia, xenophobia, and all those elements which are further segregating the society, which are further preventing evils in the society. So the young people are very much committed to make sure that we are a real change maker and our voice matters. So expanding our voice, we are amplifying our voice to all across the globe. And what we are exceptionally doing, we are just doing with great pride and on the behalf of our young people who are affiliated with us. So I hope so that this mission, and I'm told that this mission is expanding every day. So while getting more expansion in different regions, what we see that we are getting a chain with tremendous mindsets who are really willing to attain UN SDGs, solve the community issues, and of course, when it comes to UN SDG 16, peace and justice, they are a real organ which we consider important for us. So this is a brief introduction of the mission of Global Peace Chain, because we have been telling this many times in different webinars what we are doing. So what is happening in Global Peace Summit Turkey is very important to understand. Because of situation, people are very skeptical, and they sometimes ask many questions from us that how it's going to happen there, and how this summit will definitely be. So my friends, Global Peace Summit Turkey is uniting more than brilliant youth from across the 100+ countries. We are going to have the participation of. We believe that the young people who are participating in the summits, we are picking them who have social background, who are change makers, who are already contributing in the community. We are joining them. We are making collaborations. We are assigning them some responsibilities and social projects which they will definitely be attained. They will make more for the collaboration partnerships with other young members, go back to the community and leave the impact over there. So basically, it's a chain of young change makers who are repeatedly coming on our platform and increasing in the numbers as well. And of course, meeting about the expectations they are carrying on to further expand their social projects. One thing which is very important to understand here, that whenever we organize any activity, either it's like a small activity or large scale Global Peace Summit, we believe in impact, because without impact oriented activities, we cannot achieve goals. So our team, our board members always believe that whenever we are going for any activity in the country, we must have to make sure that how we can reshape, how we can plan up things which must relate to the ideology of Global Peace Chain. And the ideology only says to expand our voice for social justice, for the basic rights of human being, to amplify our voice for every human being on this globe, to make sure that we are meeting the expectation of the others and creating justice, and of course expanding our voice for peace globally. So of course, at the Global Peace Summit Turkey, inshallah, you will see that the more motivated young people will passionately be delivering their projects, and we will be giving them technical support to expand their social projects and impact the community and change the lives of vulnerable and underprivileged by using their own, of course, resources and expansions.
Thank you. Thank you for such a profound answer. I think that Murad could also share his experience, and we could continue with our journey of Global Peace Summit Turkey, precisely.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Anastasia, for giving me the floor. So it's good to be here. I'm honored to share my experience with all the fellow applicants, or those people who are just interested now or thinking maybe to apply or not. But I will definitely, I already told everyone, and in the beginning of my speech, I also tell everyone that we need to apply. We have just 24 hours, the most important 24 hours of our lives, so we need to apply. So, but regarding to my experience and my background, I'm from origin from Azerbaijan, but I have been living in Hungary for 3 years, more than 3 years, and I always social active person. My profession is the economy. I'm working as financial accountant in the company, private company. But since the beginning of my bachelor years, I always started to engage with local communities, youth groups, youth associations, and like I have the more than now 5 years social public experience. And regarding to how I involved the global peace, and actually I knew the global peace since the beginning, since the first summit event 2 years ago in the Johannesburg. But that time I applied, but I couldn't get the response. I couldn't get this acceptance. So then I was always the chasing. I should apply. I should apply. Then and I really wanted to involve that platform because I see the bright, I see the shining light of this platform that we can really make the impact, and we can really involve the young people from all over the world to the common sense, to the common point. So before the Malaysian summit, I applied for the ambassador role for the Hungary that we are living, and at the same time I applied for the Global Peace Summit Malaysia this year in February. Actually, that time also that was a bit skeptical time because the COVID-19 already started. I was thinking to go there. Then for me, it wasn't a risk, but I was a bit still hesitant. But once I reached there and we spent 4 days there, then I said to myself that I made the very right decision to come here to meet with this brilliant youth from all over the world, to get to know the directly organizers of this global peace scene, and we still keep in touch. Then thanks to them that I involved more, so I made some social campaigns and make connections between the global peace scene and other organizations. So then I was selected as the country director of the Hungary for global peace scene in Hungary. So this is my short background. So, but regarding to how was my experience there, I would say that it was totally amazing, awesome experience that I spent, because it was my first time that I was attending conference abroad. I'm since I told you that I'm a very social active person, so I attended maybe more than tens or dozens of the projects abroad. But this one really remarkable for me, because I met with the billionaires from all over the world for the same purpose. I met with the people who were brought up by anger, but then changed themselves, got out to the boundaries and destroy the stereotypes to come there to negotiate, to make discussion, and to express the sympathy to the other nations. I mean, during the forum, there were the Pakistani, Indian participants there, and I was really, like, let's say, immense that how they were interacting, how they were hugging each other, how they were showing their solidarity. We know that there is a big conflict among these nations, but they were very collaborating. Actually, this also they gave me the inspired that I also they made interactions there too with other with fellow fellow participants who came from also the nations that we don't still have the close connections, and we have somehow the anger and the hatred since our childhood. But I made even that step for myself, and this was also the very, let's say, the remarkable event for me.
Thank you.
But to tell the truth, I mean, this was one of the good time that I can say from the 2020 that it made me impact, really. I can see the still huge impact of the Global Peace Summit in Malaysia on me, on my personal values.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I would like to continue the discussion in that flow. And I think that maybe every participant of this panel discussion joined seminars and workshops and forums abroad, not just Global Peace Summit, but many others. And I wanted to ask you what made special for you with Summit? Why would you like to rejoin, or maybe why would you advise it among our summits, especially in times of COVID-19? Because it is very important to unite youth, especially in times of this crisis. Why do you think it's different, and how young people will benefit from that? Maybe Muhammad?
Yeah, of course, I got the question. Nastya, it's very important to understand that the situation globally is not ideal. Everyone knows that. So if I say everything is good, then I'm definitely making people fool. But realistically, the situation is not good. But it's good at somehow we can organize things which we can definitely further discuss how to reshape youth response to achieve UN SDGs. The basic agenda of Global Peace Summit Turkey is only to engage young people and gather them on the platform and plan up things that how we can further solve the crisis which have been created by the COVID-19. So this is very, very important at the moment that sometimes people ask me for this response, and definitely be. We are SOPs for the Turkish government. We are ensuring every single policies to make sure that we are safe over there. The world is not right now, currently the world is not sealed up. In my country, things are open, but we are following SOPs. We're coming back to routine. We have to be pioneer to come back to the community and of course, continue our social activism. So we are just coming up, but with the precautions. We previously in the last meeting with the board of directors for the summit, of course, we were discussing that what should be the number of the participants in the summit. And when we were discussing different things, somebody was thinking 500, someone was saying 300. But when we observed, we just restricted it to 170, 150, just because we want less people at the summit. But it doesn't mean that we are, of course, the people are peace and justice, UN SDGs, doing their activities right on the pandemic. They are in a list, and they are, of course, in a choice list. So this is a time to stand up again. We cannot sit silent at the moment. It's been more than 6 months. We are totally freezed up. We're not doing anything. But it's a time to come back to community because our community needs us. Trust me, during this pandemic in my country and in Global Peace Change, different chapters. I would like to name here Afghanistan, African chapters, Lebanon. There was a blast, in Lebanon. Our team members were actively and passionately working to help the humans. We were even encouraging our youngsters to go and help the people who are lacking food. So it means that we, the young people, are not afraid of anything. Of course, we are taking the precautions. Of course, we are taking the security on high scale, but it doesn't mean that we should sit silent and see, okay, the COVID is not going to work for next 2 years. You know that, but the life will definitely continue, and we are going to push the life, push to the life. And I'm sure that the situation will definitely be growing better in next month too in different countries, because the international borders in 60% of the world are opening. But of course, in next month and in September, I hear different news in India. Maybe they are revising their policies to open up international border next month. In different countries, in Pakistan, it's already open from last month. That the road to normalization, treating ourselves more key that we were the one who pioneered, actively led this movement of coming back to normalcy. And I'm sure that in this way, we will be bringing more change and rapid change in the lives of human beings.
I also received a question from our audience, and before we continue answering this question with Murad and Hristina, I will answer these two. Also about situation in Turkey, about COVID-19 situation in Turkey. I will just tell you that and assure you that all the rules or the government rules of Turkish parliament will be followed. And the situation is being monitored by Global Peace Chain support team. And in case of any news, you will be informed about current situation as of the date you are going to Turkey or you are leaving, and etc. And the second question would be, when would be the applicants informed about the selection process? I will tell you that it will happen around of September, and everyone will get an answer from Global Peace Chain support. So in case you already applied, just wait for the deadline, give our team some time, and you will receive the answer. Of course, you will get it. I think we can continue with a question. If Hristina or Murad has something to add, we can do it.
So basically about the questions that they were posed, or about the topic we're discussing?
About a topic we are discussing.
So regarding like what I think, like that they some countries can follow the example of Turkey, of Macedonia, and other countries in the Balkans, or perhaps Canada, where they implement extraordinary measures. You know, extraordinary measures in terms, you know, if like Canada recently like banned everyone from coming abroad to enter the country because of the high rate of COVID-19 infected cases, people, and mainly people over there. So what I think that some of the Western countries can do, especially about migrants, in order to actually expand their health measures and open, you know, free healthcare for every migrant staying there legally, and also grant them additional residence permits for few months, or 1 or 2 years more, till we get rid of, if I can use the popular language, till can we get rid of the COVID-19. So I think that if we implement these extraordinary measures, we can increase the level of equality in society for nationals and internationals present on the territory of that particular or peculiar country. This is like I can add as an additional topic or thing.
What does make this summit special for you among other summits, in Canada, among summits? Just this one, what would be for you?
I think it is the first time me to collaborate with the International Peace Organization of this frame. You know, it's not only national, but it's international. And where I think that the possibility to connect with people from all over the world, speak their languages, and perhaps, you know, so discuss how can we solve the most common issue in this world that is sometimes unsolvable, which is how, you know, to preserve the international peace and security. So I think that if we discuss some measures or points that governments can implement, perhaps we can make a change, even though it will be a small one, but it will be an important one.
Murad, if you'd like to continue and share your experience.
Yeah, I shared my experience, but I want to talk about the next summit, which is going to be held in Turkey. I also received so many queries from the audiences, from the different countries, delegates, that how it's going to happen, how can I come? I mean, that in this it's still not post COVID-19 crisis period. And I know there is still lots of the uncertainties all over the world, how it's going to happen, because some kind, for example, Hungary decided to close the borders start from the 1st of September because of the second wave. So they're saying the second wave is coming. Even in some countries, maybe third wave, I don't know. So, but reality is that I agree totally with Muhammad that we need to go back to normal life. So we cannot live, because this is not going to disappear anyway. I mean, in my opinion, this virus is not going to disappear anytime. So maybe we will have the therapy, we will have the vaccine, which will be less dangerous for the health, which will be stabilized and kept under the control as other viruses that we have from the influenza. I mean, in the flu season, most of the people have some flus, and they became ill, and then they recovered, and then they go back to normal lives. So I think we should follow this, let's say, the prototype, and we should go back to reality literally. That's why this summit has been announced in the June, in order to give the big long time frame, in order to prepare and to see the situation. So we need to go back to reality and the normal life. So we need to gather and we need to discuss that, because the topic is just tremendously important for the youth. Is about reshaping the youth response to UN SDGs, because as we know that United Nations also announced that already 5 years passed from the establishment of the UN SDGs, but in the timeline we are still we are still lagging behind the optimal timeline, and we have now 10 years and we have now the COVID-19 crisis. So somehow we need to formulate and we need to reform our responses to the SDGs, and for that reason we need to discuss and we need to come together and we need to provide our outputs, we need to propose our ideas and to make the brainstorming. So for that purpose, I believe this is very special, this summit, for the young leaders who really want to make commitments and the contributions to the UN SDG goals.
Yeah, I totally agree. For me, the Sustainable Development Goals is about change. And I think that Global Peace Summit, from my perspective and from my experience, was also about change, about bringing change into my lives, bringing change into my community lives. So I think that it would be also nice to remember from your own experience, or maybe to think about your future experience, Hristina, what changes the Global Peace Summit bring in you, in your life, in your community's life. Just briefly, in a few words, maybe like 2 points, and that's it.
I can mainly speak about the Balkan region. In the Balkan region, we have a very diverse society, diverse ethnicities, and which I'm very proud of. Like, I'm very proud of, because I would like to say that I speak many languages as many other people. And when I see the Balkan region full of different ethnicities who speak different wonderful languages, I think that that's something bonus, it's something great. But from the Balkan vision, it is something negative, unfortunately. So I think that the global peace chain, for the people who are participating from the Balkans like me, will, at least give the idea that open-mindedness is necessary, and that the people who are living in the other country, which is the neighboring country of your home country, are your brothers and sisters and not enemies. Like we often tend to think in terms of nationalism. So perhaps I think that Global Peace Chain will contribute greatly to break at least a little bit, the stereotypes about the ethnicities in the Balkan region, and sort of decline the rate of negative opinion about how people perceive themselves. From whatever ethnicity or religion you are still a citizen of that country, because you were born in that country, so you belong to that country, whatever your origin might be. So I think that this will, will sort of ruin a little bit the plethora of diverse approaches of nationalism. So I think it's perhaps important to be patriotic, but to be nationalist is something very negative, in my opinion. A person can be patriotic for, to love their country because they were born there, but to be a nationalist and hate the other people in the same country, that's for me like living 100 years back, to not be in touch with the modern time. In terms of, migration happens always, and not because some people were born in another country that they don't belong to this country. So I think that Global Peace Chain Summit will contribute greatly for, uniting the diversity in the Balkans, which I'm very proud of, but many Balkans are not, unfortunately.
Okay. I think really it's great. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. And if you have, I must say that, I'm sorry. If you have any questions and we are not answering them during this live session, just wait and our supporting team will reach out to you and provide you with answer. I think that I would like to follow up on one more question with Murad and Muhammad, because we are running out of time and we have to close this session. So Murad, if you give people free advices of why they should apply and what they will have after that, what would be these free advices from your side?
From my opinion, whoever wants to be the change that they want to see in the world, then the Global Peace Chain and the Global Peace Summit organized by Global Peace Chain is an ideal and unique place to be the change, really, because in that time we don't make only the change during the discussions, during our conference sessions, we also we are getting to be the change that what we want to see. We are also the change ourselves. So first advice is that whoever, let's say, challenge him or herself, whoever wants to be the change that to see in the world, then definitely Global Peace Chain is the place for these people. So second, if you want to get involved, the discussions with the brilliant youth from all over the world, like-minded people who share empathy, not antipathy, who share the understanding, not hatred, who share the good willingness, not the anger, then Global Peace Summit is another ideal place and is unique place. So whoever wants to make the discussions with the youth, which is really the future of our generations, then this this excellent opportunity. And third, this is actually the main point that why I applied there, in order to be the part of this platform and to have a vision. So if some people want to have the vision to make some contribution, very small contribution to the peace settlements, the conflict resolutions, because this peace advocacy and the conflict resolutions, that was one of the hard topics that I dealt during my lifetime. So that's why if someone had this experience and want to learn more about how to make the peace and how to achieve the conflict solutions, then we will learn here. So in order to learn, then apply and try to get selected.
I'm sorry. I was just very interested in listening what you were saying. I do agree with everything. And for me, it was also a great experience. And it was mainly about people whom I met, with whom I continue to collaborate and stay in touch. And actually, we continue doing great things around the globe. So Global Peace Summit is exactly for those active people who are willing to make change in their countries and communities. I would continue with Muhammad here, and I would kindly ask you to give us more information about this summit's topics, and maybe a few words about selection process, and maybe you will also tell us the numbers of how many candidates will be selected for fully funded, partially funded, and self-funded scholarships. So the floor is yours here.
Cool. It seems like you're going to end on me. So, of course, I will compile all the questions in one description, like people who are watching this. Okay. So let's talk about the selection process. The selection process is very simple. As we have categorically mentioned that this platform is a platform from the young social change makers who are really a contributor and bringing change in society. they can definitely apply. They can be from social background, they can be from educational background, they can be from any background, but they must be changing the lives of people and supporting the cause. So they are most welcome to apply for some Global Peace Summit Turkey, number one. And the second question, that's a frequent question we mostly ask, that how many seats for fully partial self-funded. If I'm not wrong with the figure, the fully funded seats are 20, the partial are 50, and the self-funded are 130. So that's the maximum we could give. We have increased the quota for each section, each category this time, just because to engage more young people and to facilitate them. And thirdly, people ask that how our application should be and what we should write. That's, of course, a frequent question, because our communication department receives bundles of emails every day, and they ask the question. People are still confused. But I think there's nothing to confuse. Everything is mentioned over there in the application form. But it's very simple. It's very simple. Your profile should reflect your social achievement. Your profile should reflect that how much you are motivated to learn from Global Peace Summit. Your profile should reflect that what you will learn from Global Peace Summit and how you're going to contribute to facilitate your community. These are the basic three things which our selection committee always consider, because we don't want to read long profiles, but we just want to read the most concerning area of your biography or your question, that how you're gonna, of course, change the lives of people in your community and create impact. That's a very simple answer for this. And thirdly, I request the people to please, whenever you apply, please be gentle with your, of course, attachments. Sometimes the attachments are like not clear. If in terms of application fee or the profile picture, people are using their like cartoonic photos. People are using their like filtered photos. That is not professionalism. So we really encourage professionalism, specifically in terms of applying for the summit. So I remember the picture of Murad profile pictures. His profile picture is really genuine picture. We didn't want to like. And the way he's like standing and making the pose, and the backdrop is completely dark, so it gives a real projection of your personality, to which I personally consider. So I'm going to accept this taboo for myself. So
Thank
now
you.
we have allocated a fee of $25 USD application process fees. We only need serious applicants, because if we waive off the fees right now, or we will see that we will receive thousands of applications, and it will definitely be very difficult for the selection committee to find a serious applicants. And still having this confirmation of the application fee, we are still receiving 5,000 to 6,000 non-serious emails, which really makes things hard for us. But it's application for processing fee to just for the distinction. And thirdly, now very importantly, because people who comes and join our summits, they must think something in their mind. They really want to learn something. So I'm happy to share our topics that are very different, because we carry the slogan of peace by dialogue. We promote peace. We always push reconciliation process. We say that the solution of every conflict is peace by dialogue, table talks, and of course, political solutions. So in terms of the summit topic of Global Peace Summit Turkey, we have made little bit changes, but of course it's directly linked to the UN SDGs. Number one, we're talking about peace education. We're talking about global citizenship. We're talking about empowering post-COVID generation, as we earlier talked that it's a need of the time. It's a dire need of the time that we must be into the ground to help the people out there who are really being very affected. Our team is summit topic is youth leaders for social transformation. Our topic is youth engagement in politics. Our topic is disabling inequalities. So while merging up all these summit topics, you see that we have created a momentum. And in this graph of all the series which we're going to be in terms of topics, we are covering every aspect of life. And there was a question from one of a colleague that how we are working in the fragile countries where things are very sensitive, and of course people and the countries who are going through different war and terror situations. I'm happy to share that Global Peace Chain believes in real-time impact. And recently, Team Afghanistan, under the leadership of our country Dr. Bayal, they met with the youth minister in Afghanistan, and they are participating in intra-Afghan dialogue talks. You know, Afghanistan has been the ground for terrorism for like more than 2 decades. Now our young people, our ambassadors, are directly participating by like mobilizing or utilizing their social resources and participating in intra-Afghan dialogues. They're proposing some solutions. They're making policies. So we believe that Global Peace Chain, global impact in up to 123 countries, we are going to help our governments, help our societies, and enforcing people, enforcing the decision makers to engage young people for policy making. We are not asking to give us positions, but we are voluntarily, happily ready to work for the governments, because the governments, of course, is already occupied with many obstacles, with many crises, but with the young people have great brains. So we can propose education policy. We can propose policy to exterminate domestic violence, the violence which is based on the gender, the violence which is really being conducted every day in our life. So we can help our government. So this is what we believe to do in coming future, and we are doing this, but in of course in a large scale. The coming future is very bright, because in more than we are going to like organize hundreds of sessions just in policy making, in policy making, helping the government departments to make sure that our young people, our leaders, our directors are a real-time stakeholder and resolving the conflicts in the communities by, of course, in collaboration with the respective governments. So I guess that I have covered each aspect of your question. Right now, if you have anything, so please ask.
I think I cannot leave behind the question how the global peace chain will ensure the safety of our participants within COVID-19 situation. Muhammad?
Yeah, is it for me?
Yeah. I was just following up on everything you were saying. And I think it is important to highlight the COVID-19 situation and what safety measures will be taken by global peace chain in that
All right,
regard.
so let me just tell you, I told you before in start, but of course the question is again. So my friends, Global Peace Chain is committed to ensure the safety and security of delegates. So we are, first of all, we are following the Turkish government SOPs, and we're trying to make collaboration with the respective department to make sure that we are working intensively to make sure that everything is on the perfect place. Number one. Number two, the venue and the accommodation of the delegates will be in the same hotel. We are not making movements now just because of COVID. You know that in previous summits, we have been making movements from one place to another place, but due to COVID, we are restricted to one place, and we will be using a venue and the same accommodation. Delegates will be staying at the same hotel. And of course, and thirdly, the hotel will definitely be maintaining the social distancing plus disinfection of the venues every day. And fourthly, Global Peace Chain will be giving a toolkit to our delegates that will be having a mask from Global Peace Chain, hand sanitizer, gloves, and all the protective material from our side. So we will do our best. We will do our best. And the most importantly, what we are making compulsory for our delegates is to have a COVID-19 negative test when they, of course, fly to Turkey. So, of course, with such kind of very like immense SOPs, which we have really created for our organizations, we will be able to make sure that there is no any problem. And also, Global Peace Chain has categorically asked to our delegates to make sure that they do have health insurance that must cover COVID-19 treatment. So in this way, coming and of course working on different scenarios that is very concerned to COVID-19, we will be able to make sure the security of our delegates and of course their safety as well. So if somebody is not like accepting or violating things, then definitely he or she will be responsible for himself.
I see. I will do the last round of answers here. So please think and answer very quickly. What is one word for Global Peace Summit? How would you describe Global Peace Summit in one word? So let's start with Muhammad and then Murad and Hristina.
Okay, so Global Peace Summit is a platform where young peace builders,
One
young
word.
change makers. One word. You are a change maker.
Perfect. Murad?
Yeah, it's very hard. It's very hard question. So I just think maybe like dive into peace, I can say.
It's not one word.
But you also said 3 words. Muhammad also said 3 words.
No, I would say
Okay.
one word.
Okay, change. I will say change.
Okay. Hristina?
I will say multicultural actually.
Great. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Thank you so much to our audience who I truly believe you enjoyed the discussion as much as I did. I will only ask you to stay with us 2 minutes and to watch our video. And please, if you didn't apply, hurry up because we are meeting the deadline very soon. Thank you so much and enjoy your evening, everyone.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you
Bye-bye.
soon in Turkey, inshallah, hopefully.